It was raining the day the truth began to unravel. Not the soft, romantic kind of rain that taps gently on windows, but the heavy, relentless kind that soaks through your coat and your soul. Asha stood on the edge of the train platform, clutching a letter that had changed everything. Her hands trembled, though not from the cold. This letter, folded and unfolded a dozen times, carried the words that had haunted her for weeks. There is something you need to know about your father. Asha was 23, an English language student in London, originally from a small village in India. She had worked hard to come to the UK, balancing study, part-time jobs, and long-distance calls to her mother, whom she missed dearly. Her father had passed away when she was 9. Or so she had been told. Until now. The letter had arrived from her Aunt Mira, her father's younger sister, whom Asha barely remembered. She hadn't contacted them in years, but suddenly, here she was, writing about secrets long buried. In the letter, she claimed that Asha's father hadn't died in an accident as her mother had always said. He had left. Voluntarily. He was alive. Asha's heart had been in a storm ever since. If it was true, why had her mother lied? Why had her father left and never returned? The questions clawed at her day and night. And now, 2 weeks later, she was standing in the very city where Aunt Mira lived, Manchester, hoping to hear the truth from someone who knew it. The door to Myra's small apartment creaked as Asha stepped in. The older woman looked just like Asha's father in the pictures she still kept, a strong face softened by time and a look of quiet sorrow. "I'm sorry to bring this all to you now," Mira began, motioning Asha to sit. "But you deserve to know." And so, the secret came to light. Her father, Ravi, had been a young dreamer, full of passion and ambition. But after marrying Asha's mother, Priya, the reality of life in the village wore him down. He had wanted more. He had wanted to go abroad, build a better life, and bring his family along. But when he was denied a visa and opportunities began to slip away, he became desperate. He left one morning without saying goodbye. "We thought he would return." But then, silence, Mira said, her voice trembling. "Years later, he sent me a letter. He had made it to the UK under a different name. But he never came back for you or your mother. I never forgave him for that." Asha felt the ground tilt beneath her. Her father had chosen to leave. And stayed away. The image she had built of him, kind, loving, lost too soon, was crumbling. "Why didn't my mother tell me?" she whispered. "She wanted to protect you from the pain," Mira said gently. "And maybe, from the shame." Asha left Myra's apartment with more questions than answers. She wandered the city streets, her heart heavy. That night, she couldn't sleep. She imagined her mother, working 2 jobs to raise her, telling bedtime stories of a father she said had been taken too soon. Was it love that made her lie? Or fear? The next morning, Asha called her mother. "I know," she said simply. There was a long silence on the line. Then her mother sighed. "I was going to tell you when you were older. But the years passed, and I didn't want to ruin what you remembered. I didn't want you to hate him. Or hate me." "I don't hate you," Asha said, tears falling. "But I need to understand." Her mother promised to tell her everything, honestly, when Asha came home next. The conversation ended with quiet sobs and promises, of healing, of trust. A week later, Asha was back in London, sitting in her English conversation class. Her teacher, Mr. Tomlinson, had assigned a personal storytelling exercise. "Tell a story from your life," he said. "Something meaningful, something true." Asha hesitated. Then, slowly, she began to speak. "This is a story about a secret. And how the truth, even when it hurts, can set us free." Her classmates listened, eyes wide, some moved to tears. When she finished, there was silence, then applause. Mr. Tomlinson smiled. "That," he said, "is what makes language powerful. Not just grammar or vocabulary. But stories. Your stories." From that day forward, Asha found a new voice, not just in English, but in herself. She began writing, sharing. Her story inspired others in the class to speak up, too. She and her mother grew closer with each phone call. And one day, she knew, she would meet her father. Not for forgiveness, maybe, but for understanding. In the end, the secret that came to light didn't destroy her. It revealed her strength. Because sometimes, the truth doesn't just hurt, it heals. The end. Inspiration message. No matter how painful a truth may be, facing it is the first step toward healing and growth. And language, whether spoken or written, gives us the power to share, connect, and rise beyond our past.